snap back, quarterback rolling right. He's looking end zone. Caught. Touchdown.
Saturdays are sacred. A football podcast.
What is up, everybody? It is Sunday. It's noon. That means that Saturdays are sacred. We are here live on your airwaves, and a bit of a down week in college football, but not short of entertainment, headlines, storylines, concerns, all the emotions this past week in college football. We had some bowl games at the Celebration Bowl. We had some FCS playoff games that ended crazy. We had state championship games that ended crazy this past week. We had the new Heisman Award winner. A lot is still happening, even though we're not in the college football playoff. The big boys play next week, and I cannot wait for that to happen. But before we get too into the weeds this week, Cody, how are you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Yeah, I was traveling a little bit last week, so back home. But yeah, like you said, not a lot of games, but still a lot of news. A lot of things happen, so definitely a lot to talk about as well.
There definitely is a lot to talk about. I guess let's just talk about it. Like, let's get the big elephant out of the way. If you see the title here on this stream, it says empty Heisman race. What went wrong? Right? So what went wrong with this Heisman race this year? What was the dealio, man? So Fernando Mendoza, congratulations to Fernando Mendoza, the first ever Indiana football team winner of the Heisman, the best player in college football. There's been backlash. There's been a lot of people upset. A lot of people thought Diego Pavia was going to win it. I thought Jeremiah Love should have won it, to be honest with you. But there's people who are excited, especially looking at the votes. I was like, wow, it wasn't really close at all.
No, it wasn't.
Which kind of shocking to me. I didn't think he was a clear-cut winner, but it's like Fernando had his Heisman moment in week 5 of the season, whenever they played Oregon. Because, ever since that, he hasn't really showed up. But then Diego also kind of really wasn't like that as well. There wasn't a lot of big-time moments this season for players to really stamp their case of being the best. And we're starting to see this Heisman Award slightly start to dwindle a little bit. I'm not going to say it's going to dwindle a lot because there's a lot of parity in college football. But what is your thought about the Heisman winner this year and just kind of what happened?
Right. Yeah, it was definitely a weird year. Obviously, congrats to Mendoza. I think they kind of just gave it to him. Best player on the best team is kind of what they did. Number 1 team in the country, only undefeated team left. But yeah, this race the whole year, I don't know. No one separated themselves. I guess he had a couple Heisman's moments. There was that last drive against Penn State, but Penn State was also a 6-6 team. So should you have to get to a last drive where you score on a last minute drive to beat Penn State? I don't know. But yeah, it was kind of just an empty, like you said, like you have in the title, empty Heisman race. Because you look at the candidates, obviously Mendoza won, Pavia's there, but Vanderbilt's not in the playoff. They're I think they finished 14th. And they didn't have any big wins. All the big games they had, I think their biggest win was home against LSU or home against Missouri. Both those teams did not turn out to be great teams. But his opportunities on the road at Texas, on the road at Alabama, he didn't play well in those games and they lost. So it's he didn't have those moments. Julian Saint, I think, is probably going to be the best player going forward of these players, him or Jeremiah Love. If we're just projecting going forward, those are probably the 2 best players. I don't know. Mendoza should be a pretty good pro as well. I think he'll be okay. But I've said about Julian Saint in the past, it's is he even a top 3 best player on his own team? Probably not. So it's how is he going to be the Heisman? And then, yeah, I thought Jeremiah Love had a good opportunity as well. But then you look at his stats, his stats are nice. But then you compare them to past running back winners. Yeah. It's yeah. And then especially a guy who lost last year in Genty had 800 more yards than Jeremiah Love did. But Jeremiah Love was also sharing time with Price, who's going to be another top 3 round pick in the NFL. So Like that's tough. So yeah, this whole Heisman campaign, and like you said, like even last year it was pretty much just Travis Hunter versus Ashton Genty, and like they kind of just invited two more people to kind of just fill it out with, I think it was Gabriel and Cam Ward. But yeah, so it's kind of dwindled. I think the last kind of big Heisman like campaign, big Heisman winner is probably Jaden Daniels. Like the last, like, okay, like this guy's the Heisman. This guy had a Heisman year. Like he is the best player in college football. These last couple of years just kind of been just empty. And then yeah, this past year, like you look at Mendoza, he doesn't even have 3,000 yards passing.
Yeah.
He had a really good season, really good player, best team in the country, but I don't know. You look at these stats and it's just like Jane Daniels, guys like that, Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, they all had in the 40s in touchdowns, and he was like at 27. They all were like close to 5,000 yards passing. So I don't know. It was just an empty year, very kind of underwhelming year for Heisman. But yeah, I mean, I guess congrats to Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be too biased today. I mean, I definitely thought Gunner should at least been in New York because I feel like he had a really good season and being one of the top 5 teams in the country. Like Diego was fine. Like Diego, like I don't understand how Diego. I think he like there's like always that one in the Heisman race that kind of just like markets their way into the top finals. So if you have a good enough year, you can just market your way in. That's pretty much what Travis Hunter did last year, was to market himself to be the Heisman. That's really all what kind of the Heisman Award has kind of become, especially when you see that if there's like an opportunity, if there's two teams, there are two players who are pretty good, like, but there's like, well, we're just going to kind of politic, and whoever we like a little bit more will give it to this person in a sense. But yeah, I feel like the award has lost its luster a little bit over the last couple of years. But I don't know if it's due to the fact of, is it the parity in college football that's causing this, or is it just like, is it because I don't know, like what, I don't really even know what it is. Like, could it just be like the top teams that we look at, those players are not really standing out tremendously because it's like, well, you're playing more balanced schedules in a sense, or like, you know what I mean? Like, or are there just not that many really good superstars? Is this then now it's just talking about the development of stars in college football, which can translate to what's going to happen in the NFL, whereas maybe players take longer to translate to the NFL because there's the lack of stars coming through at the moment in college football.
Maybe. Well, and it's funny, you see like the preseason Heisman odds for like going into the year, and none of those guys were even close. Like it was like Arch, Sellers, Kate Klubnik, just not even close. Drew Aller. It's just like, yeah, just not even close. And so it's like, I think like preseason Heisman odds, it's just like preseason like polls, like it's kind of ridiculous because it's like, yeah, no one really had Fernando Mendoza winning. Like a lot of years, you'd be like, yeah, no one had anybody near that. Every now and then you get someone like from wire to wire. It's like, okay, like, yeah, they're the favorite. But I think, like you said, this award has felt like it's lost its luster. But also, like they showed a stat last night, the last 4 winners are all transfers. So it's like now you have a lot of that. Granted, like Travis Hunter was there for 2 years in Colorado. Same with Jaden Daniels, and then like Caleb transferred because Lincoln Riley went to the USC. So it's like, it's not like we didn't know them. Like they just showed up out of nowhere. Like Mendoza's kind of the guy where like I would say if you asked most people before the season if you knew this guy and that he transferred from Cal to Indiana, most people probably wouldn't know. But the last 3 guys, like everybody knew them. Like they were big names. So I don't think it's the transfer portal doing it. I just think it's like you said, like it's like the talent's just more dispersed. There's more different, like there's more talent and good players across the country that, yeah, it's just, it kind of like, it thins the pool a little bit of like the Heisman. It's kind of like similar, like it's kind of happened a little bit in the NFL as well as like who's the MVP this year. So it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just kind of the talent. Yeah.
Who is the MVP of the NFL this year? I just realized that. Because at first it was like Baker, and then it was like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, which not happening.
I mean, it might be just Myles Garrett, to be honest with you.
Could be. But it's like, do you give it to a team that like their team wins? Do you give it to a team, their team has 4 wins, but he's probably going to crush straight hands record, like sack record. And then
Yeah.
it's like Stafford, but like, I don't know. Like, yeah, he's throwing to Nakua and Devontae
Oh, it's probably
Adams.
Jonathan Taylor. It's probably Jonathan.
And then they're starting to struggle now too, because I mean they're starting Phillip Rivers today. That's how crazy that's become. Like that's a whole topic like for another day in an NFL show. I'm still hoping my boy Drake May gets in that race, but yeah.
But
So it's just like
that is kind of another topic for another day for another show. But at the same time, it could also be an issue about development. And I feel like development is no one's really talking about it enough or is concerned about it enough, I feel like, because it's like we're not developing players. And yeah, like the portal is one thing for sure, like because there are kids who just want to chase the money versus the development being better as men and football players or whatever. But like, I even still think like, even if these players are doing that, I don't think there's enough good coaches that know how to develop players and know how to coach, because they feel like if they try to coach them, they're just going to leave and these players are going to like turn away. But like I see where players actually do get developed. So it's like, I don't know who's really winning. Is it a lack of really good coaches who don't understand how to teach and to reach these players? Or is it a player issue? I'm starting to think it's a coach issue, and these coaches are trying to paint the narrative that, oh, these players just want to leave because of this. Well, yeah, obviously they want the money too, but I feel like these coaches, I feel like are just going to, like, as soon as something change happens, right? I feel like there's a lot of coaches, they talk about change in the season and the adversity that you need to go through throughout a season or whatever. But then it's like, but a lot of these coaches, they bitch and moan as soon as something changes or something needs to change all the time. But instead of adapting to what their circumstances is and going through that adversity, but be quick to moan about it in the public about, wow, these players want to leave because of this, and it's like, well, like why they don't want to stay with you? Obviously, it could be money, but then it's like sometimes if you can build a good enough relationship where maybe money is circumstantial, like. I hate to use Georgia as an example again, but like, there's no, like, I saw the list of top NIL earners. Like, Georgia's not even no players in the top 25.
Right.
So it's like, obviously, there's something about money versus the culture, what you're going to get. Same thing with Nick Saban. Like, yeah, Nick Saban definitely played players back in the day, whatever. But like, it's still, it was understand, like, when I get here, I know this is going to help me one way or the other. So you also have to find a way to like, do something more than just football, or you know what I mean? Like I feel like some coaches just think, oh yeah, this is just football. But I'm teaching them life lessons. But you need also something else. Like obviously not the money, but not also the money. But you guys also have to be showing that you have something else that makes these kids want to come to you, regardless of the big paycheck or not, and stay.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think like the perfect example of that is a guy we were texting about yesterday is Lenore Sellers. It's like, sounds like he's going back to South Carolina, and it's all just because of the bag that he's getting. Cause it's like, dude, like you're not getting developed there. So you can go back and make $5 million this year at South Carolina, or it's like you can go take a pay cut and go play for a coach that's going to develop you and get you to the NFL. Cause it's like, he actually, like his development kind of went backwards almost this year. Like if you saw him play this year versus last year, and if that continues to happen, like he'll be drafted just because the talent's undeniable. When you watch him play, like he's talented, but it's like you're going to get to the NFL and it's like you're going to be kind of a project. Like you're going to be like you may start or you may have to come in and back up a little bit. And it's like you're going to be a project that said like, okay, you can go to one of these guys, like everybody knows, like who's like the top like quarterback guys and offensive guys in the country, and get developed, still make money, and win games. It's like. I don't know if LSU is going to match it, but like you can go play for Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin can help develop you as a quarterback. Instead, you're just going to go back to the same system, same kind of program. Yeah, you're banking a lot of money and you're getting rich, but it's like, okay, like are you actually getting ready for the NFL? Because like you were like a no doubt first round pick going into this year. Now you're having to come back because people are like, shoot, is he like a second or third round pick? In a bad quarterback class too.
Right. And then what turned into a great quarterback class was supposed to be, right? Preseason, we thinking, oh, look at all these names that we're going to see, because it should be one of the legendary quarterback classes, where now it's like most of these kids are just going to come back because, one, obviously there's opportunity to get money, but it's like a lot of these NFL teams saying you're not ready. Like you're not even
not at
ready.
all.
And so like I don't want to invest $30 million into this guy and just be like put my franchise back another 5 years until we
Right.
3 to 5 years complete, do this process again. And so which I mean, like I get it, like whatever is your situation, every situation is different. Obviously, get your money, right? But yeah, like I think it's just like I think Lenore Saris should probably fire his agent because like, bro, like
Right.
Beamer has not been able to develop nobody. And like even with Rattler, who's a really talented quarterback, he coming out of Oklahoma, obviously that kind of didn't work out. But then and I feel like with Rattler, even I'm not a Carolina fan, but like he had decent decision making, but obviously everything around him was a crapshoot. I mean, at South Carolina, I mean, it's better kind of now. He actually had better talent now than he did that Lenore Sellers has at the same time, but his offensive line was really worse.
It was bad.
But it's I don't know. I just don't see it, and I felt the same way about what is it, Deshaun Joyner. He played at Fort Dorchester, South Carolina high school. It's a rival high school that I played against when I was in high school, and he was really good. Like dude throwing 4,000-yard seasons in high school. Like he was like one of the top. He was 5-star recruit at quarterback. And he wanted to go to Clemson, but Clemson didn't want to recruit him for a quarterback. They wanted to recruit him for as a corner or receiver or whatever. So the whole reason he went to South Carolina is because they said, hey, we're going to play you at quarterback. Wound up, this man played receiver. He played running back. And the only time they called on him to play quarterback was in the bowl games when their quarterback left or got opted out. And it's like, bro, why are people staying at South Carolina? Like, what is the loyalty here? Because like I don't understand it. Because it's like they're not doing right by you. They're not winning games. It's like every other year South Carolina wins games. And don't get me wrong, they have some insane talent. Like Dylan Stewart is so good. They have like insane defensive line talent the last couple of years, and it's like, and they got a couple corners that come out. JC Horn came out of there. Like they what's his name? Safety last year, who's at Seattle, Nick Imawari. Like, dude, they have freak shows.
Right.
But it's like I would say you wouldn't know it if you watched them, but it's like it's been like that recipe consistently for South Carolina, where you get your Debos that come out of there, you get like these players, these one-off players, DJ Swearingers, like these one-off players that come through, Alshon Jeffries, like, and you're like, dang, well, you went to South Carolina? I never seen South Carolina good. You know what I'm saying? Obviously outside the Spurrier years or whatever, but like, then it's like, okay, so what is the point here? Like, obviously, you can get to the league. Is that just the point? Let me just get to the league and I can figure it out there? Or do you want to be prepared for the test when you get there? You know?
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, well, and that's what you get with a lot of these people, like a lot of these guys. They're sticking around in situations that aren't working for them because the money's working for them. And then, you get to the league and it's like, oh, crap, like I got to figure it out. And you get into a situation like look at like a Cam Ward situation. Like you get to the league, and Cam Ward I think is still going to be a good player, but like you get to the league and you get to like that's why you're drafted high. You get the crap. Like the Titans organization is bad, and it's like, and he was like prepared, like you kind of think he was, but then you go, okay, well, Washington State a couple of years, and then he had 1 year at Miami where he had to be like the savior because they had no defense. Their run game was okay. It's like, no, Cam Ward go win us every game. And so it's like now he's trying to do that at Tennessee. He's like, yeah, you can't do that in the NFL. And you don't have the talent or the coaching to do that. So I don't know, like, especially like with a guy like Sellers. But yeah, with all these guys in this class, like I would go back, but I would seriously consider to transfer. Like if you're Arch, do you consider to transfer? Like is you and Sark? Is that working out? Probably not. Simpson should go back. I think him and DeBoer maybe another year might not be bad. Dante Moore is an interesting thing because Dante Moore is supposed to be like the second slated like quarterback, but he played a little bit of UCLA his freshman year, and then he played this year. So he's played like it's the whole like, okay, 15 games. I don't know if he's ready yet, but his offensive coordinator, Will Stein, just took the Kentucky job. So maybe he's out as well. So it's weird. And like the quarterback development's definitely gotten worse. Like you saw it last year, like there was 3 guys that were supposed to go potentially in the first round, Cam Ward, Sanders, and Jackson Dart. none of them were like can't miss prospects. None of them were like, okay, like this is, and then obviously like 2 years ago, you had like the group where there was like 6 guys, but I would say at least 2 of them might already be like, I'm not obviously, I don't think McCarthy's going to be anything. Penix, I have no idea what's going on there. Like he's hurt, and then when
his
he's in, he's
body's
not
just
great.
giving up on him. Like
his body's
I think
giving
Penix
up.
is really good. Like I think he's good,
Right?
Because like the way he be placing balls, but like I just think it's similar to the Arch Manning and Sark. It's definitely a Zach Robinson and Michael Penix like thing. And like his press conferences, how he's talking about like how they asked him, does he have anybody he can lean on in the coaching staff to help him? He's like, no. So it's like it's definitely tension there. I think Michael Penix is talented, but obviously tearing his ACL for the 3rd time, like that's obviously he's Thomas Davis levels. I mean, Thomas Davis still wound up having a pretty good borderline Hall of Fame career, but I mean,
he was an old rookie too, so it's like he's already almost 30. So it's like it's crazy. Like the other 4 guys, I think you can make cases that they're all going to be good players, like Jaden, Drake, Caleb, and Bo. Like they all have cases they could be good players, but it's like that's a random year. Like you don't get that many quarterbacks that could be good in a random year. And like this year, like Mendoza, okay, like he's probably going to be your first, like your top quarterback picked, and then after that, it's like shit. I have no idea who's going to be the next. Like I've heard Dante Moore, but then I've heard he can come back. Like Ty Simpson's not a 1st-round pick. I'm sorry.
Was it Brian Bynum? What is it?
Oh, from South
USF?
Florida.
Yeah.
He'll
probably get pushed up the boards. But the thing is, like, I think it's the same thing too, is where it's like, well, if I stay, obviously I can get developed, but like obviously if there's a lack of someone playing just quarterback in the NFL this season, right? It's like you got to pick your moments and hope to goodness that you can get the right spot. So just like, well, if everyone's staying, that's well, I should go. So it's kind of like one of those like strategy thing as well there, and which I mean, for better or for worse, I mean, if you could finesse your way and just being a Jim Short warrior and getting that $30 million for being a 1st-round pick, like I mean, top 5 pick, just because like, hey, we just need quarterbacks and you're good enough. Like I can see it. Like if I put my goggles on, I can see something there, right?
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. Like I think, like I don't know. I think if we continue on the trend of like quarterbacks, if they fail in their first spot, there is still life for them.
Oh yeah.
That could also continue the trend of people just coming out because of that. Because like, okay, it might not work here, but like I'm just gonna keep going. Like but the thing is, we need to continue to see more guys do that. So that means Zach Wilson, you're on the clock. Trey Lance, you're on the clock. Anthony Richardson, if he can actually see, will be on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Justin Fields has probably run out, but I mean,
he's gotten his,
he might still get another shot at it. Joe Milton, maybe. I don't think anyone really ever had expectations except for the people who watch him throw football and instead of actually play football.
Trying
to think who else. I mean,
Kenny Pickett's probably gotten all the chances he's gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, so then you're looking at Dylan Gabriel's, possibly Shedeur Sanders, depending on what happens there. I mean, Deshaun Watson has been activated from PUP, so like he might. He still got another year fully guaranteed money. So I mean, in 2 years, will anybody else take another swing on him? Davis Mills might have a bit of a market.
He played well for Houston. Yeah.
Right. Trying to think who else. I mean, Bailey Zappi may get a chance. Obviously your Taylor Heineke.
Mac Jones,
Oh, Mac Jones will definitely have a big market next year.
Yeah.
Mac Jones will probably be a starter next year for sure.
So it's like you said. So maybe you don't get developed in college. So you're not ready, but you get your second chance. Like you said, like a Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones this year. Like you get your second chance, but I mean it's not a guarantee. So. Because there is some guys that don't hit on their first contract, and it's like, hey, well, that's right, that guy was in that class, and then you just kind of forget about them. Like they're gone forever. Like I think Zach Wilson is teetering on that because like he's
got benched for Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. So it's like he's got probably like 2 years to make it happen somewhere, and then he's probably out of the league, or just you could just be a 3rd-string practice squad guy for the. I mean, that's not the worst life. You could probably still cash a decent check, find your way to the backup role, and then that's okay. But I don't know. It's like he's the guy. Trey Lance looks like he's kind of solidified himself as a backup, especially in LA with the Chargers. But like he's the one guy from that draft where it's like, if someone's not in the league in 2 years, he's probably that guy.
I think Trey Lance has shown he can run an offense. I like his development. I don't know. I just feel like he got done dirty, bro. Like, because like to me, like I don't think he really done anything to warrant like not taking a chance on him. Because like I just feel like Kyle Shanahan just really didn't want to draft him, and so he was just obviously the injuries suck. Like breaking your ankle week 2, but like they won the game that he started. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like. Obviously, if you feel like he couldn't do the job or whatever, fine. But I feel like I think Trey Lance will get an opportunity with the right coach. I think he's good. I think whenever Mike McCarthy gets back into the league, I can see Trey Lance being his starting quarterback.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah. I think it was just Shanahan being stubborn. He didn't want to draft a guy, so he didn't want to change his offense.
He got his guy now. You're going to see some nasty work when Brock Purdy is gone. You're going to be wondering, why the heck did they sign Mac Jones to such high money as a backup quarterback? And then you'll be like, oh, wow, they're just trying to justify getting rid of Brock Purdy because they just think, oh, maybe Brock Purdy really isn't what we thought he was. I finally got my guy, McCorkle Jones.
Right, this is the guy I wanted, but you guys shouted me down because I couldn't draft him 3rd overall. It's like, all right, well, we'll see. But yeah, I just think it's like, we're just getting back to the Heisman talk here. Like, I think the development, kind of moving around, and then I don't know. It's this year, and even kind of last year too, especially at the quarter, because it's kind of become like the MVP in the NFL. It's a quarterback award, which I hate because it used to be like, gosh, you remember like running back years? There was like legit running backs that would win Heisman. Yeah, like Derrick Henry, Reggie Bush back in the day. That's when I became like a big fan. It's like there was guys that like running backs that like were just balled out. And now it's just like, okay, well, who's the best quarterback? And you get people there and it's like, okay, this is supposed to be the best player in the country. Maybe Mendoza has an argument. Maybe Love has an argument, but it's like, there's better players in the country that were not even close to being invited. Like I thought Jacob Rodriguez was a really good player. Like there's good players out there that it's just like Jeremiah Smith. Like it's not the best player in the country. It's kind of just become like, okay, who's the best quarterback? And if there's not a great quarterback, then we'll find something else.
And do you think Diego Pavia what do you think his future is at the next level? Obviously, he's done with college football. Hopefully he's going to try to sue the NCAA again. But, what do you think? Because obviously he might be able to finesse. He might be able to Johnny Manziel finesse somebody and to draft them in the first round.
Maybe.
Does he think he has any intangibles that can translate?
I don't know, because it was funny. Like they showed the heights of all of them last night, and it was like him and Jeremiah Love were both listed as 6 foot. Jeremiah Love is like at least 3 inches to 4 inches tall. Like they were standing next to each other. I was like, well, that one of them is 6 foot, one of them is not. Yeah. Unless Jeremiah Love is like listing himself like 3 inches shorter, and he's really 6'3", which would make no sense. But like he's small, and like he's small, like he's like Bryce Young, like maybe Kyler Murray small. But like he can't throw the ball like Bryce Young and Kyler Murray did. Like he's not a passer like they are. And so like his future, if he wants to make, I don't know, like he would have to almost be kind of like what's the guy, Taysom Hill in New Orleans, kind of like a gadget guy, comes in and like runs hard and like throws the ball every now and then. Because like at least Manziel,
but even Taysom Hill like 6'2".
Yeah, Taysom Hill's big, like he's 6'2". And even like Manziel was smaller, but I think Manziel's even bigger than this guy. So, and Manziel, like Manziel had a crazy good year. Like he had like 1,200 rushing and he had like 4,000 passing. Like his year compared to Pavia's is like no comparison. And then he went into Alabama and beat them. Right. Whereas like Pavia went into Alabama and they kind of exposed him a little bit. So I don't know if he's got an NFL future, maybe like a CFL future if he wants to keep playing football.
UFL's great.
UFL, or if he wants to try and move positions, like it'd have to be like running back or something like that. I don't know, but I just don't see him playing in the NFL as a quarterback. Like I mean, obviously, like people have said that, and people have past that, but you played like 7 years of college when you count your junior college years too. So it's like, dude, like he's kind of tapped out his football career, and it feels like he knows that, and I think that's why they campaigned and like politics so hard to get him to the Heisman. Because he knew like this was the height of his career.
Yeah.
Like this was everything. So we're like Mendoza is probably going to be a first round pick. Sane will be a first round pick in another year. Jeremiah Love will be a top 15, top 10 pick. So like these guys are all going on to bigger and better things. Pavia, not so much. Like this was his height. And so it's like, and he's kind of pouted a little bit after online. And so it's like you could tell like he was heard about it, but it's like, dude, man, you kind of politicked your way to New York and like you politicked your way to second place. Like it's really hard to kind of politic your way all the way to first place.
Yeah. It's all good though. It's all good because yeah. Let me ask you this question. I'm kind of going to pivot because I just saw something on Twitter that just kind of. How do you feel about these re-signing graphics in college football? Because this has been blowing my mind the last couple of days. Obviously, I'm grateful that Malik Washington is coming back to Maryland. He's literally the only reason Maryland has a chance. I'm not saying the only reason because Maryland has some freak shows. If Mike Locksley, I don't know why Mike Locksley got another year. But anyways, like he has cultivated some freak shows in Maryland, and there's no excuse not to be competing next year. You're going to have two freak of edge rushers coming at you, that 5-star freaks, local kids. The secondary has like a million freaking picks this year. They lock people down. Offense wasn't great. It wasn't consistent for sure, but obviously he was a young kid. Hopefully his development continues and becomes electric. But it's like, these re-sign graphic is like, I assume you would come back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and then the whole Underwood was like, oh, he will be entertaining. Everyone's trying to get Bryce Underwood to LSU, actually.
Yeah. Well, he was committed there first, and then he went to Michigan.
That's true.
And it's like, obviously, we could talk about the stuff that happened at Michigan this past weekend a little bit. But yeah, with the re-signings, because like USC just re-signed their transfer portal running back from last year, Wayman Jordan, who got hurt. He had like 500 yards in like 6 games, so he was having a good season before he got hurt. But it's just like I guess it's just what college football is going to look like now. Like you're not like returning, you're re-signing because not only do they got you to like stay at the school, got to get you to stay at the school because these guys still have to go to school. Like it's. Like that's still part of it. They're still college students, unfortunately. Well, not all of them, but most of them are. Some of them are like just kind of there after they graduated. But now we have to like renegotiate their NIL deals, which is insane, which is crazy. But it's college football in 2025 until they really figure out this whole NIL and like paying players thing, which doesn't seem like it's ever really going to happen. Because they kind of just like it being just crazy wild west out there. It's just how it's going to be. But yeah, the re-signing thing was odd. I saw a couple people online just like, what is going on here? Like, you're just returning, but like, oh no, we had to renegotiate their NIL deals. Like, shit. Okay. Yeah, it's like, all right then. And then they all have GMs. Every big program has a GM now. Every big time player has an agent now. So it's odd, man. Like this is basically pro sports now. Like we call it college because they all technically go to college and it's all colleges and universities. But this is pro football.
Yeah, I mean, like from respect, like I like the fact that there are GMs to kind of help with these because like I feel like I think I have to research and like really figure out what these like front offices are looking like in college sports now. But because like I like the fact that because there's a lot of really qualified front office people in the NFL that because there's so little jobs opportunities to be able to run a front office. The fact that Ron Rivera is running a front office in any college sports is just it's malpractice. But anyways, I will never not have an opportunity to take a shot at Ron Rivera.
He got their quarterback to stay at Cal, so I don't know. Yeah.
It's not. The thing is, it's like money. 1 + 1 = 2 in college football. How to get kids to stay? It's not that hard, right? So it's like, but there's a lot of really qualified like assistant GMs and like head of pro personnel that I think now could get opportunities to go down to the college ranks and run an athletic department, which might be more complex or whatever. But like, I also want to see them like if I want to be a pioneer in the college football game, why stop at just hiring a GM? Why not hire an entire high school and college scouting programs. Like, is that illegal? I have no idea what the rules are. Like, is that illegal or is it not? Because, like, I don't think it's so gray area as it is. Why save your coaches who normally do recruiting? Because people, they have recruiting I see some programs that say they have recruiting departments, but how deep does that recruiting department go? Right?
Yeah, I think that's the direction it's going. And just speaking on like USC, because I know them a little bit more, they have a ton of like assisted recruiting direct. Like there's a ton there. So like they're headed in that direction. And I think a lot of the major programs are like their scouting and recruiting departments, like now that whether it's like transfer portal or high school, is going to look a lot like an NFL scouting department. And like you said, and it should, because it's like you're like the NFL is just like they scout obviously like free agents and college. You're doing the same thing now. Free agents in the transfer portal, high school players coming in like a draft. So it's like that's how it should be. And the best programs are going to get to that level and have that. And it's like, okay, maybe you can't pay them from like the university pool, but like you can find out ways to pay them. You can find out ways to pay these guys. Like, so it's like I think that's what it's going to look like. And I think some programs are headed in that direction too.
Yeah, I mean, and then if you want to take from USC, well, USC has the #1 recruiting class currently right now. And
right.
So obviously they're doing something right to cultivate and get these players in. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense. And then it's like, because my thing is like, it always, like these coaches and assistant coaches got just ransacked with like little money to be, to be like, I'm coaching, I got to get all this stuff going. Then I got to go on the road. It's like, well, if you got dedicated scouts, you let them just get the reports. And they can still do some scouting and meet these players in person too. But like, you can really ease a lot of the burden off of your coordinators and your, your recruiting people, and then let them be able to do that. Like, and obviously with smaller programs, I think, who don't have the funds to do that, I think it probably won't work like that. But in terms of the big programs, yeah, like you should definitely have scouts and players, you can have a decent program, like just bring them up into areas and just have them there. Or if we're talking real big brain, there needs to be people who have secondary companies who do content or whatever and just stay in the region. I'm scouting players who wants tape. Come to me, talk to me, right? Like, which it probably are. Like, there's definitely people who there's services that take for players and stuff like that. But like, if you want someone who has a good eye for that, like, hey, I'm watching this game. If you want to know my notes, boom, pay me $20 or something. I don't know, like, because I mean, there's an opportunity here to help colleges recruit, but also you're helping these kids. Like, you're helping these kids, because I think that was the biggest issue for me growing up was like, is the exposure to these college programs, right? And like, obviously I was just like on the edge of like, just before like video highlights are super big, or I mean, they're big now, but like, ain't nothing like what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, I feel like there's definitely opportunity there to be able to just be in the region to where you can just make connections with these colleges and be able to get them information, but also like, hey, like, I know what football looks like. Yeah, like, especially a third party person who doesn't really affiliate with that school. Because a lot of coaches will tell you, yeah, he's a great kid. He's this, and blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, I've been at practice. I did this. Like, you know what I mean? And then just be that extra set of eyes. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
To help coaches find places to play football at. So.
Right. Yeah. And I think, like, I think it's headed in that direction. Because now it's like, when we talk with the whole re-signing thing, like this is a pro model and this is what the pros do. Like, obviously it's a little bit different because you're getting high school kids versus kids from college that you're drafting. But no, I think it's heading in that direction. And I think we'll see like the top programs, if they're not already doing it, obviously, like they're not going to be super public about it, but if they're not already doing those things and having like full recruiting and like scouting staffs, which is probably going to happen. And you just gotta have to pay them out of that same NIL fund if the school can't pay them, or it's like you got to find that money. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty. And then, like you said earlier too, like a lot of these like scouting directors or like high level scouts in the NFL, like shit, I can go to the school and be a GM, make about the same amount of money, and now I'm the boss. Like, I'm calling the shots. So it's like that's going to start happening a ton too. And then, a lot of these former players or former coaches, some of these things are a little weird. It's like, like you said, Ron Rivera, he was a head coach. Like, he never really did much scout. Like, he did some scouting or he did some like drafting and player personnel, but it wasn't very good.
Not
And
at all.
it's like
He was that.
yeah,
We gave him GM power, gave him way too much power, and watched him for some freaking reason.
Yeah. And then like Andrew Luck, but Andrew Luck, like he's all in. So he's a smart guy, so he'll probably figure it out. Then you guys, what's going on in North Carolina, maybe a little bit too over their heads, maybe trying to do too much like NFL style where it's like, okay, there's still some college aspect, but yeah. So I think it's just this sports just keeps on going down that road where it's like, this is a pro football. This is the closest thing to pro football other than like obviously the NFL, and it keeps just happening. It's weird to see. I don't love it because I still love the college aspect of everything, but it's just the direction it's heading.
It's funny you said that. I'm on Twitter now. Andrew Morgan will be Arizona's new recruiting operations coordinator, a role that includes scouting. He comes from Idaho, where he helped lure a top FCS class in his first year there. He's an Arizona graduate who works in football. He worked there in football as an undergraduate. So they've got people who already young. He's a young kid. Like obviously Kenny Dillingham. He looks really young. He looks like 15. But
yeah. Does that mean Kenny's staying? I think he got that extension yesterday.
Yeah, apparently his previous contract already had like elevators in it. But like I think only up to like, starting at 5 versus I think his new contract is going to be starting at like 8 to 10 million a year. But all you had to do was win like 6 games allegedly.
Right.
To get an elevator.
Michigan could offer 12. Is that not enough? I don't know.
Yeah. So apparently Michigan, they commissioned a full investigation into practices and culture of the athletic department.
It's a little too late, right? Like shit.
I mean, they are. Let's just get into it, right?
Yeah.
Let's just rip the band-aid off.
Yeah.
We'll end the show with this, but it's like,
yeah,
Michigan is becoming a place where too many scandals are happening, and they are the new Penn State.
Dude, no kidding.
And it's obviously not as severe as what Penn State did.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, but when you have your back-to-back coaches, obviously, and then Sharon Moore was the coordinator for the previous coach who got, with the Connor Stallions and all that craziness happening. Obviously, Harbaugh had a culture there and the people around him that were all bad. And the fact that he finessed the system to where Sharon Moore got handed this pretty prime job. Right. And then without a coaching search shows you like, hey, we just want to continue this as long as you keep everything quiet, which they tried to keep this quiet until, it couldn't. Yeah. And now it all is coming out. Obviously a very unfortunate situation with Sharon Moore and Michigan. Obviously, there's a lot of levels of unfortunate. Obviously the mental health that Sharon Moore was doing, obviously him destroying his family, him breaking in and attacking or attempting to attack a woman who was on his staff. It's a lot of bad that happened in this situation, right? And so obviously don't want to, not magnify like how severe this is. Like this is very bad at all accounts. And it's going to make a lot of people reconsider, should I go to the University of Michigan? University of Michigan is a beautiful campus, it's a really good school, but obviously there's something fundamentally wrong right now in the athletic department. I don't want to specify it to the whole school, but in terms of the athletic department, there's something fundamentally wrong.
Right.
Romore firing and the firing of the athletic director. Hopefully they can clean this place up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of damage control, and it's just like you said, it's like what is going on there? Like you had all this stuff with obviously Connor Stallions and Harbaugh, and the fact they kind of just got a slap on the wrist a little bit, which pissed a lot of people off because it's like you had a coach on another team's sideline in disguise, like the whole Central Michigan game when he was in disguise scouting Michigan State, and then this here, and then I forget about it too because someone brought this up this week. Like the whole Juwan Howard thing didn't end well. Like there was like a scandal there with the basketball program. So it's like, what is going on in Michigan? And Michigan's kind of always come off as like a little bit like, oh, we're better. We're like they kind of act
north.
Yeah, we're north. We're Michigan, man.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't know. Like you're acting pretty shady. And it's like, now you're cheating. I've certainly seen a lot of jokes. You're cheating on and off the field. We won't get into that too much, but But it's like just I don't know. Like they always come off as like they're better than everyone and they're like a prestigious program, which they are, but it's like then you're gonna act like this. And it's like, yeah, you got your national championship. And like the crazy thing is like I've seen people online, Michigan fans, it's like, well, we got our national championship. I'm good. Okay, well, you're good that you had
For
to cheat
now,
your way
because
on the
that could get revoked. Like if the
that can, yeah,
NCAA steps in, they could just say, you know what, this is way too many things, and we need to rectify the situation. They
right.
could put the death penalty on the football team.
Right. And it's like they probably should consider because, like you said, with they've known about the Sharon Moore situation for a couple of months, is what I've heard. It's like since
Yeah,
October, and they wanted to wait until after the Ohio State game, wait until after signing day. It's like, what? Like what are we doing here? It's like, and like if he beats Ohio State and they're in the playoff, does this happen? Or do they wait until after the playoff game? And it's just like, yeah, I get like football's huge at Michigan, but it's like it's not over everything else. Like if this stuff's going on, and then now you just signed a good class again. You got number one quarterback from last year was your freshman quarterback in Bryce Underwood. Is he gonna stay? Like, I don't know how they fix this situation. And then if you're a coach, like and you're a player or coach, is like, do I want to go there? Like,
right.
what's going on here? Like, this just kind of a shit show going on. And like, obviously, they're late to the party with the coaching search. It looks like DeBoer is probably going to stay, but like, if he loses next week, is he on the board to be the next coach? Dillingham kind of got an extension, and got a raise, so he's not going to be the guy. Keep hearing Jed Fish.
Man, they're getting paid.
They're getting paid, and it's like a lot of these coaches are just going to use this job as leverage to get more money, just like a lot of coaches did with the Penn State job, with the Florida job, things like that. So I don't know. It's just terrible situation at Michigan, but it's like it's kind of their own doing, and it's like you guys just put winning football games over everything else, and now it's like it's coming now, but now it's coming due. Like the rent's due now. Like you did all this stuff to win football games and to get back to being like a top level program, but like now it's coming back. Like now you kind of reap what you sow a little bit there, and it's I don't know. I think right now, like if they can't, obviously you have to fire the AD. Like this guy's been able to just kind of let this shit go on for years, just kind of turn a blind eye to it. But if they don't get like the right coach, like, and if they don't, things get a lot worse than what they are right now.
Yeah, and yeah, it's I don't know, man. Like Michigan it's just look, it's a bad look, dude, and it's
Terrible, yeah.
I think for me, if I'm the NCAA,
Right.
I think Michigan needs at least a 2-year ban from playoffs. At least
Right.
2-year ban, right?
Right.
Just because it's like, dude, this is back-to-back times. I will consider stripping that national championship from the record. But like it's hard to do that because of the fact this didn't happen at the time, but at the same time, there was other stuff that could continue to be a repeat offender. So it's like you have, because like I think the NCAA is losing so many lawsuits and battles right now at the moment.
Oh yeah,
and they're not really fighting back for some weird reason. But like they have to make a stand here because this is just not acceptable behavior from a head coach of a Power 4 school that's like literally a blue blood organization of your NCAA. But then it's not just football. That stuff is happening at Michigan.
Right.
You know, so it's like you have to do something.
You got to do something. Well, then it's like I've heard like candidates. It's like, oh, Jesse Minter, like he's the defensive coordinator. Come back, but it's like I wouldn't touch anybody from that group. It's like, and then Jed Fish, like he coached under Harbaugh as well, and then who knows how long that crap was like. If I'm Michigan, you don't, and nobody that was in that group from like Harbaugh and now with Sharon Moore, like you go and find someone totally outside, like not associated with that group at all, because it's just going to look bad. Like you bring in another guy and then like other weird stuff starts happening. You have some recruiting shit. It's like, well, you keep hiring the same dude, keep hiring the same guy. They were doing this shit already. So it's like, I don't know. They got a lot of work to kind of clean up their image. I thought they were kind of going down anyway. I think like Jerome Moore seemed like, obviously before this week, seemed like a nice guy and everything, but he was kind of handed that job. And like, I thought the team was getting worse. Like, I didn't think the team was very good. Like, they were 9-3 this year, but their 3 biggest games they played in, they got beat pretty good by all 3 teams. And they don't really have like a quality win on their schedule, really. Maybe Washington at home, but that's like an okay win. So like the team wasn't like, I think he was going to get this year. Like if this shit obviously didn't happen, he was going to get this year. And like if it didn't improve and Bryce Underwood didn't improve, he probably was going to be out anyway. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think this team, and obviously you got Indiana doing what they're doing. Ohio State's always going to be around. Oregon's going to be around. I'm hoping USC can kind of get better. I think Matt Campbell's a good hire for Penn State, but he's got a mess to clean up there because it took them so long to get him.
So long. His staff is getting poached. They just lost the offensive line coach who pretty good. That's a pretty big asset because he's, especially the offensive lineman he's been producing the last couple of years. Olu has been, oh my God, the Jets had such a good offensive line, dude. They have such a good offensive line. Too bad they stink. But
but it's like he's going, and so there's so many. Like he lost they lost basically their whole 2025 recruiting class, Penn State did. So he's got a mess to clean up there. I think like 2-3 years down the line, they'll be good again, but I think it's going to take some time. And then, with Michigan. So it's like, I don't know, like Michigan, you were the top dog there for a couple years, but we saw that maybe there was some reason why you were the top dog. But like I said earlier, I think this is going to get like, they need to get a coach that's not associated with Harbaugh, Sharon Moore, any of the people, any of that staff. Get someone totally outside and see if you can keep Bryce Underwood and salvage the recruiting class you just had. But I think I've seen there's already 2 guys that are requesting to get out of their letter of intent. Because it's like, if Michigan knew this and let you sign knowing that they were going to fire their coach next week or going to fire him eventually. And so, I just think it's a mess there. And I don't know. I think it could get, like I said earlier, it could get a lot worse before it gets better. And for school and a program like that to get like this is really bad.
And thing is too, is like, do you even want to poach a coach from Michigan?
Right. Yeah. Because it's like, now you got to question all of them. It's like, I don't know if I want any of those guys in my locker room, talking to my players, being around my coaching staff. Because it's like,
they have one of the better defensive line coaches for sure there. So it's like, does everyone just get that stain on them? Do they need to just take a year off of football for a while in order to, or maybe the only place they could probably work is still Michigan, but that depends on whoever they bring in. And that person they bring in has to be able to like really just like just replenish and just like cleanse this place, sage it all up.
Right.
So I have no idea who that could be, especially if
I don't know.
Pending repercussions from the NCAA, but we don't know. NCAA they be hiding. They like to hide in moments of crisis, to be honest with you. So it's like
they do.
You can't. Maybe it could not be as bad as you think. Maybe it's we'll be fine because the NCAA just like we'll just give you $1 million fine, and you lose 10 scholarships. Okay.
Right. Okay. We'll just pay them on the side anyway. Like most people
they walk on. It's preferred walk on. You get money. We'll pay for your school, but just not as a scholarship.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know. Just keep an eye out. Oklahoma beats Bama. Does that mean DeBoer goes to Michigan? 4-loss season, back-to-back 4-loss seasons, 3 losses in the same in a year, I guess, in a total calendar year to Oklahoma. That could be something interesting there.
It would be interesting. I think Michigan fans on Twitter this week have been obviously they're a little bit delusional at the moment. But they think that Kirby Smart is going to leave Georgia to go be the next head coach at Michigan.
No. And it's like DeBoer shouldn't leave either. I only think if they push him out. But it's like,
I don't think he should leave, but at the same time, it's like we don't want
like
you.
I said,
we're not going to give you more money. Say, hey, Michigan, because like this is what I can see happening. DeBoer's going to go to the athletic director and say, hey, Michigan's calling my line, and they talking about possibly meeting with me and possibly wanting me to go there. And the athletic director is going to look at him like, okay,
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds great. When is the
Right.
meeting?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You want to take our plane? We'll get you up there, man. I get you a flight. Yeah.
right. So it's like I don't think that's going to be an issue because like I don't think they're going to be rushing to get more like to pay him more money for what we've
No.
gotten, you know. And like at that point, then it's like, shoot, I'll be clamoring for that Alabama job. Nobody wants to be the guy after Nick Saban. I'll be the guy after Nick Saban.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and then like the Sark go there, then Texas comes open. That would be nuts.
Yeah, because then what's his name would be finally right about. I mean, could Michigan lure Sark away just to maybe say, hey, Bryce Underwood is a better quarterback than Arch Manning. Having him there, you know?
I was thinking more Sark going to Bama if DeBoer leaves, but I don't know because like the Michigan job, like don't get me wrong, it's a good job, but these people saying, oh, it's like a top 2-3 job in the sport, I'm like, no, I don't think it is. Like Harbaugh got the national championship there, but we got to remember that was like his like 12th or 13th year there. The first like 8 years of there, he couldn't beat Urban Meyer. Like they weren't a top end program then. And it's like now with all this scandal, like, are you going to be able to just get it back on the tracks and like, oh, we're back to being a top? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of programs in that conference that are in better position than they are. So I think that it's still a really good job, but would I leave Texas for it? No. Would I leave Alabama if I'm Kalen DeBoer for it? Only if they push me out or if it's like it's not going well there. But Alabama's a better job right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kirby Smart would be like Kirby Smart. The only place I see Kirby Smart leaving if he ever wants to get like an NFL itch. Other than that, it's like, why would you leave?
No, there's no point. That's his alma mater. His like literally his home.
Yeah, it's like he's got the best program in the SEC. It's like him and Ohio State are the top 2 programs in the country. So it's like, why would you leave to go to Michigan and clean up that mess? You don't know who your AD is going to be. You don't know what the hell is going on there. It's like, why would like that? Like Michigan fans thinking that's even a possibility. Like you can come with the biggest bag and he's just gonna be like, okay, well, I'm still making 15 a year. So it's like money's not an issue.
Right. My thing is, I do think Michigan can compete with Texas in terms of money and resources.
Money, yeah.
Like I think that would be the only thing that, because I think Michigan does have a really, really good alumni. And
they do, and they're rich.
Like obviously when they all bought in to pay Bryce to switch to LSU, that's like, okay, that shows you power. So again, I think the Michigan, in terms of like, obviously there is a PR, you need to come with a PR and everything like that. But I think there are enough resources and you have to have the type of mentality of a coach to do it there. But I think if you can rally the alumni to really give you what you need, I think Michigan will be fine. Like I think you need a weird, like I think Harbaugh was a perfect person for that job because he was weird, but he was a commanding leader. So I think you need someone like, I mean, I think obviously if you can lure Nick Saban out of retirement, I think you need someone who has that type of ilk who can command, like, which I think you have to probably go with a veteran NFL guy at this point, like someone who's been through it. Like, I mean, I don't know if Mike McCarthy would want to go. I think Mike McCarthy would actually be kind of great, actually. Or like, who else who's recently fired? I mean, I would say he's a great hire, but like, I think he would take it for the money you would give him. But Brian Kelly, I think you can give him that job and he would just be like so grateful that he's, because I don't think Brian Kelly's a bad coach per se. I think he will get you right. He can recruit well. He can get rid of that stupid Southern accent finally. He'll have a Northern accent. He'll say pop now. Because I think he coached. Didn't he coach at Central Michigan?
Central Michigan, yeah. Cincinnati, and then went to Notre Dame, yeah.
I mean, he has ties to the area. He don't mind the crapshoot of a job. Like, I think he could be a good placeholder coach. Obviously, it wouldn't be like people would be the most inspired, but I mean, he can just hold the place until, another big name comes available.
Right.
Like, I don't know who else you can really lure in.
Brian Kelly would be, I don't know. I feel like he needs a couple of years off before he can get back in because I think it's just how it ended at LSU was just so bad. For him to get another big time job, right? I could see him getting another job at if he got the job at like Tulane. Well, maybe not in Louisiana. He'd have to get out of there.
Yeah.
But he got the job at like North Texas or something like that. Like kind of work your way back up a little bit. I can maybe see that.
Jim
But,
Moore would
yeah.
actually have been the perfect coach for this job because he's such a boring, good football. Like I don't want to say it negatively, but like he's like exactly what you need. Someone who's just a good football coach, not going to cause headlines, and he's just going to get the job. He's going to build this program, and he's going to do it boringly. And that's what you probably want right now from Michigan.
Yeah. Well, and I think Matt Campbell would have been perfect for this job too, but you waited too long. Like Penn State went and got him. I thought it would have been a nice fit there. I don't know. Could you pay more money than the crumble cookie guy and get Sataki out of BYU? But like you go from like BYU, which is like okay, like
that's
everything's like you do everything the right way supposedly there. Versus like, okay, now you're going to go to Michigan and like there's scandal after scandal after scandal. Do you want to go like that's like like going from what like just complete opposite place? But I don't know. Yeah. Like top head coaches right now, I don't see them luring anybody.
Pitt, who's the Pitt coach?
Narduzzi. That would be a weird fit. I don't know. That would be an odd fit. I'm trying to think who else could be out there. Like I've heard other names. Like obviously Lincoln Riley was thrown out there. I don't think
Dabo Swinney. Bring in good old Christian boy Dabo Swinney. You need to get the Christian mentality up here.
Right.
Tell him he's going to cleanse this place. He's going to pray for this organization, this program, and he's going to change things right. I like that. Dabo Swinney.
That would be going in the opposite direction. Like you'd be like, yeah, that would be definitely going in the opposite direction.
Maybe you save Florida State and get Mike Norvell off of them and save them.
Oh my gosh, why would you do that though?
They can pay them a buyout so they can actually get a new coach because they have no money. Right. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like I see this. Like I'm trying to look up a list. First list I see is Marcus Freeman. You're not leaving Notre Dame. I don't know, but then it's like at least you're in a. I think Marcus Freeman ends up in the NFL in the next 5 years. That's my kind of call.
Apparently, he's up for the Giants job.
Yeah. Oh, Clark Lee from Vanderbilt. That'd be interesting. Could you lure him away from his alma mater? Maybe.
That would be interesting. I don't think he could, especially not after just flipping 2 5-stars.
Right.
One from Alabama.
Does he bring Curtis with him? Tell Underwood to walk and then just bring Curtis with you to Michigan.
I'm not doing that. I mean, I think Jared Curtis is going to be really freaking good.
I think he's.
I'm really mad about it, but it's like I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah,
like he was a difference maker type quarterback. Like he's a big body guy. Like I think he's going to be like actually insane. But I think it makes sense. I mean, if they can continue to recruit like the way keep getting 5-star recruits at Vandy,
right?
And especially because I think is once you get a guy that's like good. When they see like, oh yeah, he's actually legit, and it's like, oh yeah, I want to go play for Vandy too. And next, they're going to keep getting weapons, and I think Vandy will probably do really well in the portal as well.
Yeah,
Vandy might be here to stay, but that's a lot. That's a lot. That's going to be a lot, though.
It's going to be a lot. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who they end up with. Jeff Braun, Louisville. That's not bad. That wouldn't be a terrible hire, but I don't know. But like you said, like we both like. Do you want to be that guy that takes that job that's coming off 2 scandals? It's like you got to be like the squeaky clean guy. Like this guy like doesn't do anything wrong. Like you said, like a Dabo Swinney type. Like if he wouldn't have taken Virginia Tech, that would have been hilarious. He goes to Michigan and
what about Terry Smith, Penn State?
Oh, Penn State's interim guy. Could be interesting. That'd be a slap. That'd be slap in the face to the Penn State. He'd want to win that game.
Perfect.
Yeah. It could be perfect, yeah.
I mean, they passed over him, and the players really wanted him, and then you could steal the talent from Penn State,
right?
And to bring him to Michigan, I think he's a really good coach's guy. Like I think he's a good leader, man. Like I wouldn't hate it. I mean, obviously, again, like these Michigan alumni, like your Dave Portnoy's, they're gonna be like, who's this guy that just gonna shout in his his wife beater and whatever, and just be like. Who the heck are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And it's like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, especially because if he's going to try to be involved in the coaching search, they're doomed.
Get him away. Like,
but it's not going to be him and Taylor Lewan, so maybe it might not be terrible, but
they got other people with money. I mean, you still got Brady and Jeter that probably have more money than them. So it's like, and then there's probably a bunch of random people you don't even know of that are
Rich Eisen.
Michigan. Rich Eisen, that's up there. Adam Schefter. So it's like,
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. So
they
have a network of people they grew.
Oh, they got a network of money.
They
and
could
like,
probably try to get Halfley from the Packers,
from the Packers
coordinator, because he was the head coach at Boston College.
In Boston, and it wasn't bad. Like he did good for what I mean. You can only do so well at Boston College, so he did well for what they had, and he's doing really well with the defense for the Packers right now. So that'd be an interesting hire. They've been in the area for a little bit.
Get Wink Martindale, or
but he's another guy that was around for
he was a Harbaugh
and Harbaugh. So it's like, I don't. Ooh, do you get John? Does John get fired from the from the Ravens, and then you just go back to the Harbaugh well?
No, I don't think you can do that.
No, you can't do the Harbaugh well. But do you get Mike Tomlin? Bring him to college? I've heard someone float that out there. It's like, I feel like
obliterated that rumor. It's not a big enough check. Okay, he has a hit.
Right? Yeah. It's like, I don't know why his name keeps coming up for college. I don't even know if he's coached in college. It's like, it's so random.
I think it's just because the Steelers fans just want him gone. They just want him gone. And it's like, I get it, because it hasn't looked good the last few years.
It is not.
Because like, you're literally you become a mediocre team, but you still win. So it's like, it's one of those tough balances, right? Like, what would you rather be, a perennial bad team or a perennial mid team? Mid to good team. So
freaking at Dunze, they said was going to play, and now they just ruled him out. Like, now I can't even take him out. Unless he got hurt early in the game, which is possible.
Like, that's possible. Nico Collins just had a 52-yard touchdown as soon as the game started. So
sweet.
We can wrap this up because Michigan, I mean, listen, we're excited for the college football playoff round 1. I think we should have some good matchups. Hopefully have a lot of good games. Upsets, Tulane, JMU, hopefully. Who knows? Let's have some fun. Like, I want some we're already having a chaotic Heisman race. We're having a chaotic college football season. Let's go full chaos. Let's have a first time. No. Let's not have a first time national champion. Let's have a champion restored to greatness this year. But like, up until then, let's have some fun.
Right. I like not JMU's chances. I like Tulane's chances.
Yeah.
JMU, I'm not so sure. Drake May just ran in for a touchdown opening drive, so that's pretty awesome. MVP maybe, but back to college. I think JMU going all the way across the country to Oregon, that's just tough. But hey, you never know. I think Tulane's got a chance, but Ole Miss, supposedly, like, every coach is going to be there except for Lane. So it's like, but Lane was the guy that called the play, so I don't know. How much did he do? Yeah. It'll be interesting, but yeah. And then the other two games I think are really, like, Alabama, Oklahoma should be pretty good. A&M, Miami. I don't know why they got the morning game on Saturday. I thought that'd be the primetime game, but either way, like, that's gonna be a good game as well.
Yeah.
So got some good games to start the playoff. Got at least 2 good games, and then hey, if we can get an upset, or I mean, shit, like if JMU Oregon's tight, close in the fourth quarter, all the pressure's on Oregon. That'd be awesome to see. I'd love to see. I just want to see close games in the fourth quarter. Get it a little bit close there, so we have some. Last year was 4 blowouts in the first round. Like, I don't want to see that again.
Yeah, Sam, I get that. I also wanted to say happy retirement to Kyle Whittingham, great coach at Utah. I mean, he's like, Utah and Iowa just kind of have like I would say Utah's more explosive on offense than Iowa has been, but that's the type of coach that you just want. Good and boring. Hard-nosed defensive, good leaders, develops men, and I mean, they got guys they've sent guys to the league, but they also made them better husbands and fathers. Like, I mean, that's like what you want. 1,000%. So.
Yeah, no scandals, no issues. They're just there to coach ball, and that's it. Like, they're in the mix every year. They're gonna win 8-9 games a year at least. Yeah, it's just constant. And like, they just elevated the DC, so there's no question about who's the next coach. There's no full hire. Yeah, so Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he'll do as well as Whittingham, but that's how clean you can do that situation. Like a lot of other schools couldn't do that. That's how clean you could do that situation. And he did it the right way. He's going to coach the bowl game and finish out. He's not going to hold anybody hostage. He's not going to play this game back and forth. Just thank you for the, 20 years that let me be the head coach.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's like 171 and 66 in his career. Like, that's just good ball.
Yeah. He'll go into the College Football Hall of Fame in a couple of years just that's how it's like, as much as USC's lost to Utah and it's pissed me off and their programs, but you got to respect him and you got to respect the program. So it's like, they do it the right way. No issues. They don't get 5 stars. They get 3 and some 4 stars, but they develop them. Like you said, they put some guys in the NFL every now and then, but they develop them into good people, which is what you're supposed to do as a head coach as well.
Exactly. And what we're supposed to do is enjoy our Sunday because we made sure our Saturdays were sacred and we didn't, we watched some college football. It wasn't a lot. We watched, the playoff, FCS playoffs and whatnot. But next week,
Army, Navy,
Blake, what is it?
Horvath, yeah.
He's a dog.
He is a dog.
But that's going to do it for our show this week. We're so excited for the first round of college football playoff next week. It's going to be an early Christmas gift for everyone because it's going to be some good time. We do need to talk about that, actually. Next week is not Christmas. Wait, next week is not Christmas.
Not following week.
Yeah. I was like, wait. I was like, wait, what is next week? Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of good action next week. We'll be here on Sports Fluent talking college football. Make sure you guys tune in. And thank you guys for watching. Any last things you want to say before we get out of here, Cody?
No, man. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy your football. And Friday and Saturday next week, we got some college football playoff games. There's some bowl games during the week, so I'll be enjoying some college football as well.
I will not enjoy football on Sundays until 2026. So
I hear you. Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Thanks, Cody, for hanging out. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next week.
We'll see you, man.
Snap back, quarterback rolling right. He's looking end zone. Caught. Touchdown.
Saturdays are sacred. A football podcast.